What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the R.O.Hammer Company's Sales Cycle Podcast. This week, my co-host John Erickson and I sit down with the one and only Jason Hiland, Chief Revenue Officer of CollaborationRoom.ai, which is a next-generation virtual contact center floor platform built to help your leadership team engage, manage, and train your remote and/or blended agents as if they were sitting right beside each other on the floor, making your team's remote work actually work. Jason is a massive voice in the BPO and call center space, leveraging digital and social media to provide insights and expert advice on what's working and what's not working in the call center space. This is gonna be a good one, so grab a coffee and enjoy the conversation.
Special guest today, Jason Hiland. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
No,
Jason?
you slaughtered it, to be honest with you. It's Hiland. My grandfather always told me that we got the short end of the stick. We didn't get the J or the G and an H that everybody thinks of when they think of Hiland. So it's Jason Hiland. It's a common mistake.
Hiland joining. Yes, and I'm sure many of you know my co-host Chris Walcher. Chris likes to give a little introduction. Then we'll let Jason, our guest, give an introduction too, I suppose. Go for it, Chris.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another fantastic episode of R.O.Hammer Company's The Sales Cycle Podcast. Today, we couldn't be more thrilled to welcome my main man, Jason Hiland. He's Hiland, if you will, Hiland. We'll get there. We'll get there. Tremendously consistent on LinkedIn platforms. He's really big into the video content, sharing a wealth of knowledge on the different ins and outs of how to be able to build, scale, and really just achieve the most tremendous success in a remote workforce atmosphere. And so, Jason, my man, welcome to the pod, brother.
Thank you, Chris. Man, tell you what, I don't know what you cost to follow me around and be my hype guy when I go on to a video call or into a conference, but I need that in my life. I need more of you in my life.
I'll get the last name down, I promise you.
All right, I don't need this anymore. I just need to bottle you. That's it. I need to bottle you. The coffee, I'll be done with caffeine forever, man. I'm doing great, guy. How are you guys doing today?
Late flight back to Georgia from Dallas. I was out of the office for a couple of days, so I'm playing catch up a little bit today. But this is the fun part of my days.
That's the worst. I always say for every one day I'm out of the office, it takes me 2 days to catch up.
At least.
CEO's like, hey, I need you to go here. I'm like, okay, but you got to understand these projects that you talked about that you wanted done. They just went from Friday to Wednesday of next week.
Oh yeah.
But I love traveling. But man, is it tough when we got to play catch up.
Yes, and it takes it's the catch up and then the planning.
Yeah.
You gotta triage what you can get done and what you're gonna miss and how you're gonna catch up. And then you come back and everything's changed. So
I make a list of.
Look at this.
I make a list of everything I'm not going to accomplish today.
Okay, very good.
It always starts off as a to-do list, and then it as the day takes on a life of its own. We all know how that happens. I'm still an old school list guy. I really am. I've got all my tasks in my CRM. I've got lists for lists and stuff like that, because there's nothing better in my life than to take one of these and draw a little X.
Speak to me, Jason.
I will. If I create my list after I've started my day, I will put something on my list that I've already done just so I can mark it off.
Just to get that.
That little endorphin hit. Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
And I can tell we're going to be all over the place today because we went from travel to lists of things Jason's not going to get done to marking off things.
Let's go.
Yes. Yeah.
After this, you can happily put that check mark.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and mark off right here, podcast.
Done. Hey, you know what they say? Showing up is more than half the battle, and you, sir, you showed up. So you check that off.
Action breeds clarity, my friend.
John, who is this guy? I love him already.
It's a very high threshold to join this show, and Jason made the cut.
Made the cut.
I was available. I'm breathing. Vocal.
Let's go.
In.
I got to add, so I'm a list guy too, and I do, so just, you're talking about the endorphin hit from checking off the box. I do the same thing, but I'm taking it a step further because I want to be like tech savvy and organized. So I actually do the paper list and then I transfer it into my digital list. Double satisfaction because
Ding.
you get to cross it off the paper and check it.
I'm the opposite. I start off with my digital list, and then every night I go through my CRM, my to-do, which is like Microsoft's little task list. And so I take that stuff and I consolidate it into my paper list. So I'm right there with you, John. The more X's you can do, the more things you can cross off. And there is something special about hitting that little button on do and hearing that little ding.
Yep.
That means
Yep.
you're done. You've done it. Tell me this. Does it drive you crazy when you get half of something done and you're like, and you have to leave it and you got that little box, that little circle right there. And
Just
it's like,
staring you in the face.
you just like 10 more minutes and I could get this thing done.
Does Jason's sound okay on your end, Chris?
I'm getting a little bit of a wonky feedback.
Is
Like
it-
a little robot sound.
But I don't know if it will expo when we can.
You know what? I can try, if you guys want, I can try changing headsets real quick.
Maybe give it a try. It's not
Yeah, I
a big
would
deal.
say
You might be able
just
to
in
edit it out.
case.
I was asking if it's only on my end, then it's probably something.
I asked because somebody else brought it up today that for some reason this headset is acting a little bit wonky. So give me 1 minute. I'm going to turn off the Bluetooth on my phone.
No problem.
So it doesn't grab this headset. This is my video headset and this is my phone headset.
Got
Yeah,
you.
I have the same one somewhere here on my desk. At least I had it a second ago. I just didn't want to have an hour-long recording where it was
No,
gonna
first
be-
because we're about to have some fun, and I would be super bummed if the audio wasn't working for sure.
Take your time.
I feel it. Not yet.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
You know, glasses come on. He means business. May have him pop out and pop back in. You think that'll help?
Maybe. Or if he just doesn't use a headset. Maybe, can he hear us?
I think so. He's typing to us. I think there's a studio chat. Let me see. Oh, he said I'm going to pop out and come back
Okay.
in. Well, let me switch. Do you want to just start from the top?
We can edit all this together.
Yeah, I bet.
It'll be fine.
How was your flight, man?
It was long, dude. I had a connection in Atlanta, and the
Always.
first flight was delayed, and we had to run from one thing to the next. It got there
That's the worst.
with like 12 minutes. They still let us on.
Dang.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. And then we didn't land until like 11 o'clock at night. It's like an hour drive after that. My stepdaughter came and picked us up, but got home late, had to eat some food. So it was a late night, but it's nice to be home. I like Dallas. It was fun. It's a cool spot, but
Dallas is cool.
yeah.
I'm all about it.
Can't believe the freaking building going on down there. It's crazy. I hadn't been there for a bit, so.
Are they still being crazy
Guys.
over there with the building?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Welcome.
It would not let me. It would let me switch my to hear, but it wouldn't let me switch to actually speak to this other headset. So is this better? Is it sounding better?
That's better.
great.
Much better.
All
That's
right.
technology, baby.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
how
I have
it-
that
that's-
same headset, and it is a little touchy sometimes.
Yeah, the shocks.
I'm a fan of it, though.
I am too. I am too. This thing usually works great, but for some reason this morning, I don't know what it is. It's just it's not acting. These things.
They don't last forever.
They-
I've been through several pairs of the shocks ones, too.
It's my second pair.
yeah.
Second pair. All right, guys. I'm sorry I broke our rhythm there.
No, you're all good. We're
problem.
back in. And
Yeah.
now, reporting back to the sales cycle after a word from our sponsors. John, take it away.
I feel like somebody should probably reach out to Bomb Bomb because we're going to talk some Bomb Bomb today.
Hey, yeah.
Last week, quite a bit, too. So
Yeah.
maybe they can send us some Bomb Bomb hats.
Oh,
or
that'd be
something.
awesome.
Dude, they totally should. It's so
Yeah.
funny. I'm working with this lady, Morgan, who was my AE from Bomb Bomb, and I feel bad. I told her, I was like, look, I might ghost you, but I am interested. Just give me time. Keep sending me the reminders. And so finally today, I was like, look, I think that I might just pay for it myself and then experience it. That's typically what I do with new tech is
Yeah.
I purchase it for me as an individual. And if I see value or I could build that case for the team and my execs, then I'll bring it to them. So I think that's the direction I'm going.
You know, I bought
Is
it.
there like a
I pay for it myself. I do.
Yeah.
unwritten rule that sales guys are able to ghost other sales guys without any guilt?
You know, I actually think it's the exact opposite.
I think you're probably right.
Because I was talking to a guy the other day. He had a really cool thing for some LinkedIn work, and it was integrated to HubSpot, so we could do more out of HubSpot, and I could report on what my team's doing. Anyway, I'm like, towards the end of the call, we had 15 minutes, and I really wanted to talk to him, but our CEO is a CIO by trade. Really, any technology we're going to bring on, I kick it over to him and let him ask all the questions that I'll forget to ask. I'll ask like the operational questions, but he'll ask like, How does this connect to the HubSpot? What kind of sync? What time? He knows all those things. And I said, now this might sound like the kiss of death, man, but I promise you it's not. I need you to send me over some information about this because I'm going to take that information and I'm going to send it to somebody else. And I'm not lying. I'm not bullshitting you. I really, really will take it, send it to somebody else. And he's like, I've heard this before, Jason. And I'm like, no.
You're being overly.
I was like, I've been that guy. But he had, you know what? He sent it to me. I sent it to my CEO. He had a call they had a call set up within a half hour because it was really cool technologies. I think it is because when I get blown off by another sales guy, it stings a little bit more.
It for sure does. For sure does.
There's a brotherhood and sisterhood here. We're supposed to understand. We're supposed to have empathy.
That's right. No, sales, look, and John and I talk about this all the time. Nobody grows up. You're not in 4th grade going, man, I want to be a sales agent. Like, we accidentally stumbled on this. We're just a network of psychopaths. And so real has to recognize real, when you're getting pitch slapped,
Yeah.
So I appreciate that from you, Jay.
Yeah, you do. Real does not need to recognize real because when it doesn't happen, it feels real bad.
Yeah, for sure it does.
Jason, tell us your real story.
Ooh.
Tell us who you are and where you came from.
All right. Well, I'm an Indiana kid who moved out to Arizona about 15 years ago. I thought I was going to be a forever bachelor. I bought a house and turned it into a bachelor pad. And 6 months later, I met a woman who was going to inevitably became my wife. And everything in this house changed. I don't even recognize it anymore. I graduated from a school that I call the Ivy League of the Midwest, which is Ball State University in a little town called Muncie, Indiana. The only person... Let me ask, do you guys know our most famous, besides Jason Hiland, alumni from Ball State University? Without Googling it, I'm watching hands.
I couldn't even throw out the first.
You know him so well, too. Gentleman by the name of David Letterman. Graduated from Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. Yeah, absolutely. And anyway.
This all makes sense now.
I didn't go into the TCOM building that he built. I didn't ever, but no, I went to Ball State. I graduated with degrees in economics and accounting. As you can tell, that's how, obvious path to technology sales. And I went into my first interview with one of the back then, the big 5 accounting firms right on the circle, downtown Indianapolis. They took me around and they took me in this one room. It was like dimly lit, like one light bulb didn't work very well. And there was like 10 people sitting around on this computer just pounding out. And they're like, this is where you're going to be working. And I was like, that is not where I'm going to be working. Walked outside. I walked out on the circle in downtown Indianapolis. I went to this little private equity, was Charles Schwab at the time. And I gave him, I was like, how do I apply? And they're like, do you know what you're applying for? I'm like, no, but I don't want to work there. And they gave me a fax number. So I had to fax my resume in. This is 1998. So needless to say, I worked with them. Then I worked for a private equity company. And then they bought our private equity company, helped buy a technology company. And I remember I was supposed to work in the back office of this private equity firm for 2 years and learn the business and get my certified financial planner's license and all that. And about a year and a half in, the CEO came to me and said, Jason, it's not going to be the same thing. I'm like, why? He's like, because you look like you're 12. And we deal with very high net worth people. And quite honestly, they'll never take you seriously. So you can either stay back here until you get some gray hair, which I have now accomplished, or pick one of the companies we're invested in and you can go work for them. Well, there was a technology company out of Muncie, Indiana, where I just come from. I was like, let's try it. So long story short, I ended up in sales, which is not a career people aspire to from the time they're a young kid, in contact centers, which again, not an industry people aspire to as a young kid. It's been a long, strange path, but I really, really enjoy what I do. I enjoy working in the contact center world, lots of blue collar people. I could be talking to executives of a large company and I can just be me. Because like Chris said, you got real shows real, so to speak. And
yeah, always.
And I just love the industry. I love technology. I love bringing something different to people. I can't sell a commodity. I can't. If I have to lead with my product is cheaper than their product, I'm not working in the right company.
No juice.
No.
Yeah.
No. no excitement. So yeah, that's my path.
I know John and I really want to dive deeper into Collaboration Room, obviously. But
Yeah.
before we do, I checked out a ton of your video content on LinkedIn, and I spotted multiple times a New York Yankees hat.
Go Yankees.
How did the Yanks win my boy Jason over?
Yeah, so it goes back to the early 80s, actually. Growing up in Indiana, we didn't have a baseball team. We stole the Colts from Baltimore, but we didn't have our own baseball team. And all my family either were Cubs fans or Reds fans. And, well, honestly, I just didn't want to join that. You know, if misery loves company, my family was in great company being Cubs fans. So I decided I was going to find a baseball player who played baseball at the time from Indiana. And there was a guy from Evansville, Indiana by the name of Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly. And I said, that's now my favorite baseball player. And I became a Yankees fan.
Dang.
And, you know, and people are like, oh, it must have been easy to become a Yankees fan. Not in the 80s and 90s, it wasn't. Not in the early 80s. It was a dark period for Yankees fans. And I was like, did I just choose the new Cubs here? You know, but no, that's how I became a Yankees fan. Just one player from Indiana, and I just didn't want to be a Cubs fan.
Okay.
I was a baseball as a kid, and I used to hang out in the 80s and 90s at my grandpa's house quite a bit. My grandpa, God bless him, still alive. He's 94. Hates the Yankees with a passion. Like, they're the evil empire.
Like me and the Dodgers.
I know we had a really good thing going. I feel like I just messed that up. No, man.
When I was a kid,
I bleed blue all day, baby.
Yeah,
I was into collecting baseball cards.
Oh, me too.
And like the holy grail of baseball cards was Mickey Mantle. You know, so it's like I had a brother, and all we ever talked about was someday I'm gonna have a Mickey Mantle card and how awesome Mickey Mantle was and all this stuff. And my grandpa would just get so upset. He's like, Yankees.
Yeah. I still, you know, as poor as I got through college, and I was poor. I mean, there was times where I didn't know where the next meal was. You know, I mean, you know, especially after you moved out of the dorms, and I had this case full of baseball cards and some really good baseball cards, a lot of them, thousands, a couple books full of, you know, I've never sold a baseball card. They're still,
Me either.
They're in a facility, a storage facility over here. Every once in a while, my wife will send me over there to get something out of our storage unit, and I'll come back about 3 hours later. And she's like, what the hell have you been doing? I was like, she doesn't know, is I'm sitting on the ground in that storage facility going through it like I was 10 years old again.
When you said facility, I was thinking like air, climate control.
Oh, it is air and climate controlled.
Yeah. And I was about to tell you, I store my collection in a facility too. It's located in my mother's basement.
My mom made me. I've dragged those baseball cards everywhere I've gone. Everywhere I've gone, because they were my pride and joy as a kid. I can't tell you how many hours I spent just studying the backs of baseball cards on statistics. I used to be a cornucopia of useless knowledge about baseball guys.
It's funny that we're talking about this. Just did an article for ACA Collector Magazine or whatever, like a profile thing, and they were asking about how I got into business, and it's like an interview thing. I was trying to say, you know, I don't really know. I just have always been super into business, like even as a kid. And like one of the things my brother and I would do is we would buy baseball cards, take the ones we wanted, and then like try and seal the packages back up. And then we had a stand set up in our driveway and resell those packs to other kids in the neighborhood.
So
it's a big
fraud was big.
No. Full disclosure, sir.
Those kids go through there like, I didn't get 1 star. How did I get nothing but scrubs?
It was highly sophisticated. We had a Beckett so people could bring their collections.
I still have in my baseball card collection, the only Beckett I still own is the Beckett where it had on the cover, it had Michael Jordan when he was playing for the White Sox. So I've kept that Beckett, and I looked in that thing too. I was like,
we were. When I say we were highly sophisticated, we didn't have a Beckett subscription. We had one that was probably like a year and a half old, but to the neighborhood kids, it was like, let me tell you what your collection's worth.
Yeah.
I'm an expert.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a Beckett. No, I'd get one about every like 6 months or something like that. Yeah. Or one of my buddies would get one and we'd all go through and kind of grade our cards, and then we'd rotate it around. You might have got it 3 or 4 months late, but it was like the stock market. It really was looking like you'd see up a quarter, down 12 cents.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
my mother was the FCC or the
some
regular.
Yeah.
I say FCC. Yeah, the SEC.
You're in collections without saying you're in collections. The FCC.
Yes, the SEC. I was at one point banned from trading with my younger brother.
You robbed him.
Trades that were made that I thought were fair.
I got robbed a
Yes.
lot. Speaking of that, I used to have a Mickey Mantle card, and some guy, some card dealer, some older guy. I was a kid. He knew my favorite
Dang.
baseball player was Don Mattingly, and he got me to trade a bunch of Mickey Mantle for. Money wise, it was worth the same. So he, whoever that guy is, whatever
But
grade,
right here, Jason.
he hurt
but
me.
Right here.
He hurt me. I still think about that today.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, I'm getting angry right now.
Dude, let's segue it over. I wanna jump into Collaboration Room. Obviously, first of all, congrats. You guys won Most Innovative Technology Award at ArmTech 2025. That's not an easy thing to do.
Voted on by our peers, and that's important to us.
Dude, that's the best. So why don't you drop some knowledge on the platform? Like, what does it mean to bring the sales floor to the remote world?
Well, really what we do is everybody's trying to solve problems. And the problem that we solve is really the lingering effects of the pandemic. We work with contact centers that might be outbound, inbound sales. It might be collections. It might be, account receivables for a bank. Really, we're deployed in 18 countries. But really what it comes down to is prior to the pandemic, over 98% of all agents in the world were on a floor. That's when we think of a contact center, we think of the floor where it is, engaging, it's productive, it's secure, it's compliant, and it's easier to train and coach when everybody's right there in front of you, because we as human beings, we perceive 80% of our world through our eyes, 10% through hearing, and the other 3, taste, touch, and smell, make up about 10% and really have no business in any. You don't want those in the office anyway. Taste, touch, and smell. Anyway, so during the pandemic, when everybody went remote, everybody was cobbling together tools to make it work, even using like Teams and Zoom, which they think of now as like, oh, these are remote platforms. They're remote meeting platforms. They were never built to mirror a floor environment. And there are some specific things about a floor that you got to have. And so during the pandemic, our CEO was the CIO of a 6,000 seat contact center. So he started building this out of like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Panic, survival mode. And
You're a nice guy, by the way, too. I've met him.
oh, Samir is great.
I believe I met him at ArmTech.
Probably did.
The first one.
Yeah, he's the CIO by trade, but loves to dip his feet into sales, and he's getting better. He's getting a lot better. But anyway, so what he did was said, well, how can I replicate this floor with technology? So he started building Collaboration Room, and actually at ArmTech 2 years ago, we got word that the U.S. Patent Office had granted us our patent. So like on Zoom and Teams, where you can see multiple videos, only one person can share, and you have to trade on who's sharing it. Well, with our patent, we can stream multiple videos and 2 monitors per person simultaneously. So imagine you're a supervisor where you're used to sitting in the team area and looking around and seeing the faces, seeing their monitors, making sure they're productive, making sure that you're supporting them and all of that, make sure things are secure. Well, they lost that. But now you can sit at your desk, look at your screen, and you're seeing a live video of every one of your agents, no matter where they are in the world, and both their monitors. And, you can communicate, chat, everything through the platform.
That's the real beauty of it.
Yeah, and then you turn it around. See, we're not one of these platforms that just puts agents on camera. That's monitoring. We don't want to monitor people. We want to make sure that they can engage. So if you turn it around the other side, the agent sees their supervisors. So we don't put anybody on camera that can't see who sees them, but the supervisor sees everybody. The agents all see their supervisor, and then you can move people into breakout rooms and training rooms. And then we have, all kinds of bells and whistles. From the security standpoint, really, we just want to echo what's on the floor. So for instance, John, you know this, most contact center floors don't allow these. Yeah. Well, they have the same rule in remote. It's just unenforceable. So like if I did this on our platform, the AI would know this is a cell phone and let the supervisor know, hey, there's a cell phone there, and they could be taking a picture of that data. Or if my wife were to walk in right now and I had a blurred background where you couldn't see behind me as the supervisor, because we want to give people the privacy they need. But if my wife walked in right now and stood over my shoulder, even behind that virtual background, the AI sees beyond that and it can say, hey, supervisor, you might want to have a conversation with Jason. It looks like there's multiple people looking at the data.
I have a product suggestion.
Yeah.
The ability to customize what happens, like the image that displays when someone pulls up their cell phone.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What would be your image?
I don't know. It should have sound effects, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Like dun, 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 something like that. Or just the iPhone
more like Yeah, like Goonies type music.
Ooh. Side note, does anybody know that they're redoing Goonies right now?
Yes, I have heard.
I'm not
Are
sure
they
what I
really?
think about it.
I have to agree, mixed feelings. It'd be like making a remake of Caddyshack almost. It's like,
I believe
better
there's
be
a
good, otherwise it's sacrilege, right?
Yeah.
I believe there's a line in Caddyshack for every situation in life. I truly do.
I would stand behind that for
Yeah,
sure.
I do. So yeah,
Yeah.
going back to the platform and just kind of wrapping it all up, it's a virtual floor that allows your leaders to engage, train, coach, and supervise their agents no matter where they are. And then we just add in a couple security and compliance components to mirror what you had on the floor in these remote environments so that one, that we're saving remote work for these folks because remote work brings so many people into the work. I mean, like one of our clients, military spouses, they move every couple of years. They can't hold a job, but now they can work remote anywhere in the world as a contact center agent. Single mom. I grew up with a single mom, single dads that can now work from home and such like that. It's a real passion of mine. And then, we give the contact center's clients the confidence to say, oh, wow, you can work from home. And the one thing I'm probably the most proud of, and we did not build for this. This was not part of the grand plan. But so far, we got about 100 clients. 2 of our clients have reported 6 instances where our platform has helped save an agent's life when they went into a medical emergency while working from home. Couple heart attacks, couple strokes, one anaphylactic seizure, and then one, we're not sure, and that's only 2 of 100 clients. So the odds are we've helped save more lives. That right there, when you sell a product to somebody and they come back 2 months later and say, hey, just so you know, you helped save an agent's life. I mean, come on, guys.
That's kind of next level.
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
If you guys don't have a case study drawn up about that specifically.
We talk about it a lot, but, getting the clients to, I do have clients that will say, if you need somebody to talk to, I'll talk to them, but we don't want to put it, HIPAA.
Yeah, no, you're right.
We don't want to put it out on a case study, but yeah, one did though. One on a webinar came out and said, yeah, the supervisor saw her acting funny, started listening to her call through our platform. She was kind of stumbling, and at first he thought maybe she'd had a couple cocktails.
Yeah.
So the supervisor called her after the call and it's like, you all right? And she's like, I haven't felt good all day. And so he called the paramedics and they showed up and she was having a stroke.
Wow.
She'd been having strokes all day and didn't know it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, being able to engage, we've all been at work where medical emergencies happen, but we kind of just assume, I've talked to clients since I tell that story that told me that I thought my agent quit or I thought my supervisor just quit. They didn't quit. They literally died and the company didn't know about it. So that's something that's just, from our standpoint, is just something that we really, really are proud of, and it actually gives me a little bit of goosebumps when I talk.
No,
about
it has
that story.
to, man.
I've never sold anything that saved a life. I've never sold anything before that saved a life.
It is an innovative product.
Yeah.
And we've used it a little bit differently too, because we have, so setting aside the work from home model you described, we have employees in office, but in different states. So it's been a really cool training tool where you can have one person training a team at 3 different offices. And you're right, it's 100% more than monitoring. That's what we liked about it. It's a completely frictionless communication stream between a trainee and a trainer and a group of trainees, really. So let's just say everyone's working. What we liked about it best is you have a team of, say, 10 people making calls, and they're all brand new, fresh people. They don't have to pick up a phone or send an email. They can directly communicate with someone in another office, ask a question, and get back to work.
I love it. And we kind of call ourselves the floor, a single tool for every environment, because we've got clients using us on their floor. They have no remote, no multiple offices. It's just their supervisor can sit here and handle a lot more.
Yeah.
Right from their desktop, because if you're out of your seat over there talking to Jane, you can't really help Joe. Then same thing as you, we had a client out of Kansas that lost their GM here in a contact center in Phoenix, and they could not find for the life of them a GM that was willing to take that job and work in an office here in Phoenix. So then they just bought our platform, put one of their GMs in Kansas on the platform with the agents in Phoenix, and they never went remote. Even during the pandemic, they were considered essential. Now they're going remote. And then finally, one use case that we didn't expect is all these, like a lot of collection agencies. I was just on a Mike Gibb webinar 2 hours ago where we're talking about BPOs, business process outsourcers. And, brands, hospitals, banks have been using them for years, but they're new to collections for the most part. Well, one of the things that our clients are doing is they're putting their BPO agents who might be spread all over the world, even though the agency or the brands here in the U.S., and so that they can engage and audit and listen to them and help train and support them just like they were their own agents. So it's no more like I just visit them twice a year over in the Philippines or South Africa or something like that. Every day, I know their names now. I know what they sound like. I give them feedback. What we like to think is we're just bringing the world a little bit closer, one contact center at a time.
I love that.
So tell us a little bit about your sales team and your sales process.
The sales team we're still small. We're only a 3.5-year-old company born out of the pandemic. We didn't take on really any private equity money. Our owner took on a little bit of money, just kind of seed, kind of friends and family sort of thing at first. But
we offered to invest.
Yeah, did you?
Slight decline.
Well, and he declines a lot of people because, we've been able to, maybe it has slowed our growth a little bit, but we've been able to maintain control and do things the way we want to do, but we're profitable and we're, for the most part, bootstrapped. So that's great. The sales team is made up of, really, I was the first one outside of Samir. And then I started bringing on a team. Now I've got 2 full-time sales reps and I'm bringing on a third. Right now, we're going through that interview process right now. I've got an interview right after this call, actually. We've got a full-time, we've got 2 outsourced, one out of India and one out of the Philippines, BDR companies, or SDRs that are making phone calls on our behalf. We have an outsourced marketing, kind of a fractional chief marketing officer, so to speak. She's out of India. So what we've done is we've leveraged our relationships across the world and a lot of the contact centers we're talking to, and really taking what our clients have done in nearshoring and offshoring certain aspects of our company, and then we just manage those folks. But we manage them in a way that they're on our system, they're in our platform, and they're part of our team. I don't look at them as, I say they're outsourced for context here, but Ramya is my marketing person, and Anurag and you are my SDRs. And so we do a lot of multi-channel stuff. I mean, we don't have a lot of competitors, which is a good thing. But the bad thing is it's also up to us to have to educate the whole world that these kind of technologies exist, and that's hard. So, we're doing email campaigns. We're doing a lot of social media, which I have fun doing the social media part on that.
You like your social stuff.
Yeah,
me too.
It's my creative outlet, guys. And we got the SDRs reaching out. I don't hire a sales rep that won't pick up one of these and make some phone calls, and cold calls. And conferences are big for us because we could show the platform. And because when you explain my platform, sometimes people think it's like, well, it just sounds like Zoom or Teams. And I'm like, it is absolutely not. But the moment they see it, boom, the light goes on and they're like, oh, that is not Zoom and Teams. And so I just have a lot of fun to show something to people that they've never seen before. That's fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Real quick, can we just take a minute to highlight? So look, I have offshore, nearshore with my firm as well. I got a whole call center of sales that I lead in Lahore, Pakistan. We got soldiers in Costa Rica. Can we just talk about the incredible workforce that comes out of some of these offshore nearshores, and how just like disgustingly biased still some U.S. corporations or the U.S. market is against just this tremendous value and intellect. If only some of us would open our eyes to be able to like see the benefit. That's why I love your product, because I am so on board with anything that, one obvious advantage is I got the entire globe of candidacy to find excellence. Put cost aside. Obviously there are different ROI margins, whatever, but in terms of looking for an absolute killer, like some of the most intelligent people I've ever met are coming from Pakistan, and you got Americans that are still living that 20 or 2001 mindset of like, oh my God, it's sand and machine. It is. Anytime I hear anybody working offshore or nearshore for that, I love to highlight what a tremendous workforce and intellect you're getting.
It was imperative for us being a startup company, not trying to bring on a lot of capital and get out over our skis and dilute everything. So, we just tested it. And I'll be honest with you, I'd never done it. And I was a little apprehensive. I was ignorant. And I think that's,
me too.
I didn't understand. And the more I work with these people, and I talk to my clients all the time too, they'll tell me their BPO agents are outperforming a lot of their in-house agents.
Same.
It's becoming a lot more accessible now too, and commonplace. And people, not that this is an outsourcing podcast by any means, but I don't
even know what kind of podcast this is. We've gone over everything. So
I don't think me and John do either.
We're just talking.
An amount of offshore people too. The first time that you get it set up, it's like, where do you start? There are some challenges. There's a a fear factor.
Yeah.
But I would agree with Chris. The benefits outweigh the risks.
I think people they haven't tried it and they don't know. Or it's like anything else. All they hear is the horror stories. There's good and bad
Which
companies.
I think are less common these days.
They
too.
are less common these days. And I am a firm believer in nearshoring and offshoring and having a balance of, and for one, from a business continuity planning perspective
too.
And scalability. Yeah. Look, I just need, I've got some clients that do work in the insurance world. So open enrollment, they need to ramp up for 3 months. Well, nobody wants to hire people here in the U.S., go through the whole recruitment and training process, ramp them up only to lay them off in 3 months.
Yeah.
Well, and these other companies with these BPOs, they can ramp them up in no time because they can recruit so much faster. They can train so much faster. And at the end of that 3 months, they don't lay those people off. They find another project for them because they've got other things going on. So where we're like, we love you, we love you, we love you. Sorry, we don't need you anymore. They're like, hey, you know what? When you're done here, you've done great. We've got another project for you. And what they get is they get experience and they don't have the attrition that we have in our contacts. Somebody used a stat earlier in Mike Gibbs' webinar. It takes 6 to 8 months of recruiting to find a really good agent in the U.S. And then they average only stick around 10 months.
Yeah.
I mean, where's the ROI there?
The vicious cycle.
Yeah,
Dude, the churn is ridiculous in the U.S. market right now.
It is. I mean, I had an interview this morning. The guy set up the interview off my Calendly. We got his resume through Indeed, sent him an email. Hey, give him a call, send him an email. He didn't show up. I mean, he literally. I mean, no call, no show. 24 years old, and I was just like, I don't want to wash a whole generation, like some people do, like, these millennials or these Z or whatever. But it is different nowadays. It 100%. Really is. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm not going to be some crudgety old man, when I was young. But it's different.
It is different. I would agree with that.
Yeah. So I love outsourcing.
Oh, same.
So setting aside the outsourcing piece of it, are you able to share with our audience some of the other tools you're using?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so one, I love LinkedIn and social media, and I love making different types of videos. Because I just said, what happened was during the pandemic, I was a sales guy for 12 years at a company, and then I left right before the pandemic. No one can time it like me, and joined a startup company. I had no phone numbers, no emails, no conferences, and here I am sitting at my desk at home for the first time in my life, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And my wife was like, you should make videos. I'm like, I'll make videos. And my first videos were 8 minutes of me talking about something. And I think my wife and my mother looked at them. And then she comes back. She's like, that's not what I meant. And she set me up an Instagram account and had me follow some people that had nothing to do with my business. Just follow these people. I'm like, I think I can do this. I think I can do it. I can be silly. I can be fun. I can have a lot of fun. I started helping her at first with some real estate videos that she wanted, and then I started doing them for work. And then now I wish I had time to do more. I have so much fun with it, but it takes a little bit of time. Yeah. Social media is a big thing for me. Another one is BombBomb, because we're in a video world. I mean, look, my platform's based on having live video. We're on this podcast right now that's all about live video. Video is where it's at. So instead of sending all the time, just sending little text emails that doesn't allow me to differentiate myself, I'll create a BombBomb video, throw that in an email, and then when they get it, it shows up as a little GIF of me. And I've got this little sign here. Oh, where did I put my sign? Oh,
I'm
here
a
it is.
BombBomb fan too. And to all you BombBomb executives thinking about calling this the R.O.Hammer sales cycle BombBomb.
Yes,
That's right.
I'll take this little sign right here, and I'll just say, hey, let's see, Chris. I'll use it.
Come on, baby.
I was going to say Walter, but I'm going to say Chris. Here you go. And when they get the video, when they get the email and they open it up, this is me. It's me like this.
I play the same game, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta have the whiteboard. Yeah. Are you kidding?
What it tells them is, all right, it's not a link, it's a picture. 2, they can see me with their name on the board, so they're not so worried about it being nefarious.
Or some spray and pray, send to 10,000.
Exactly. And really curious. So I can send those via LinkedIn messaging, and I can send them via email. So I use a lot of video, and that's how I differentiate myself, because I'm not afraid of it. I'm comfortable on it. I feel like I can be myself. In a text email, I could be the worst sales rep in the world or the best sales rep in the world. They have no idea.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And I
in
mean, especially in this chat GBT world, like you could punch in a crappy email and it will spit out gold to you. But dude, they're like, you cannot replace just the authenticity of just bust out your cell phone and hey, what's up, Jay? So we're connected on
going
LinkedIn.
on?
Like, let's make it happen.
Yeah,
I like the visual.
Yeah, it's just visual. So I do as much as I can. I like, these podcasts. I try to do webinars. I just feel that I feel when people see me talk, they see my authentic side. Where it's typed into an email, I could be anybody. And it doesn't mean anything to them. But when they can look in this and I'm looking into a camera, even if it's a recording, and they can see me, the passion and the authenticity, I think that helps a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, outside of the SDRs and social media, but just me personally, I love BombBomb. There's other things out there, but BombBomb's my favorite one. I've tested them. And because it lets me know when they watch it, how much they watched. And I'll be honest with you, I get so pissed off when I see somebody opened it, hit play, and watched like 3%.
I'm get like, to your 2 second. Yeah.
I'm like, man, I didn't even get to my name.
It's giving you gold.
But when I see they watched 100% and it's like a cold email,
yeah,
I mean that means a lot. And then sometimes what I'll see is it'll get opened like 12 times. So what that tells me
share
is
it with somebody.
They shared it around the office. Look, that's
it's
important.
A big thing right now in debt collections, like engagement with digital communications and analyzing and building propensity to pay modeling.
Yeah,
Jason. Get with Lucas over at Sage Analytics.
Love Lucas
Set
Brown.
Up with a propensity to buy model.
Yes,
this right. Of the video on this day.
John, when do you think that we could start doing video messaging in our demand notices?
Yeah,
is that coming up?
That's an interesting idea.
I mean, it was birthed here, but might be something for Mike Gibb to lean into.
I think BombBomb MVN notice.
Give them a model validation.
I think Rencom will be the first one to jump in there, maybe RevSpring or something like that. And they're going to buy BombBomb. RevSpring buys everybody, so they'll buy BombBomb. The next thing I know, my subscription goes from $75 a month to $200 a month. I'll give you some information.
We're running close on time here, guys. We've been trying to ask kind of like, as we've wrapped up some of these other interviews, a couple of closing questions.
Yeah.
So tell us first, what is your favorite sales book?
This is easy, and it's not even a sales book. It's actually a marketing book. But it's, give me
Something
one.
About the FCC, I would guess.
Yeah, no. Oh, it's building a story brand.
Okay.
Yes, it's all about how to, more or less to just, without ruining the very, very, suspenseful ending of this. No, it's not. Anyway, it's all about how to tell stories and how really any movie you watch, any commercial you see, any book you read is really all from the same formula of you have a protagonist, they have a challenge, then they have an antagonist, they meet a guide, Yoda, Voldemort, whatever. The guide then helps them get to the end, and then at the end they have drink you will. And every movie, you name a movie. And we as humans are programmed to remember movies that follow this format or stories that follow. So I've changed my PowerPoint into more of a story that I just kind of tell before I get into the demonstration. I think it's great. So anyway, building a story brand, any sales rep should watch it, even though it's more of a marketing book.
Love it.
Well, oh boy. Well, I already told you my biggest sales win, and it really just was selling something that helped save somebody's life. To me, I'll never forget being told that. I've sold a lot of big deals in my time and helped a lot of people, but that one will live with me forever. What was the other part of that question?
Your biggest sales lesson that you've learned.
Oh, my biggest, it was really told me by one of my mentors when I was early on, and he just looked at me and he says, whatever you do, don't bullshit them. It'll come back to haunt you. And
I love that.
And that's the biggest lesson I got is just don't bullshit them. Tell them the truth. If you don't know, say you don't know. He's like, there is nothing worse than somebody finding out after the fact, one, that it doesn't work the way you said it would work. And I'm not saying I haven't made a mistake. I've made mistakes. But it doesn't work the way, and then you got to unwind everything and all that effort you and your team and everybody just did. He's like, just don't bullshit them. He's like, there's a lot of people out there that'll do that just to get the deal sold, and all it does is cost everybody more money, including your reputation.
Difficult. It's a difficult process to gain trust. Even more difficult.
Well, and I think going back to
trust.
video is, I think it helps me gain trust by being in those videos and sending those bombs because they see me, I'm a human being, and they see the inflection in my voice, the facial expressions. I mean what I'm saying.
So
yeah, there's
important.
something about the video too that's like you're exposing yourself in a way that makes sense.
Being a little vulnerable.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Exposing sounds a little.
I try not to expose myself too often, but I don't mind being vulnerable.
Every now and then.
All right, guys. Well, it looks like we've hit the end, and I've got to go do one of those interviews now.
Okay. Well,
Love
thanks
it.
for joining.
You guys are the best, man.
Awesome to meet you, man.
I had a blast on this, and anytime you guys need somebody, just let me know. If you need a filler, I'll come on
Let's
here
go.
and talk with you guys any day.
The next time you're a keynote speaker and you need a hype man, give me a call, baby.
And now,
You already know. It's time.
you're definitely coming to my next show with me.
Come on.
All right,
Jason,
guys.
my man. Awesome to meet you, bro.
Absolutely. Have a great day, guys.